With the sudden influx of dozens, if not hundreds, of AI coding assistants, it's easy to get swept up in the hype. But developers must not forget, these tools come with hidden risks. In this video, I'll highlight the key things you should be careful about when relying on AI to write or explain your code. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for AI and I don't take an extreme position when it comes to using it in development. In fact, I believe it's one of the most disruptive technologies we've seen in decades because it can auto-complete your code, explain complex logic, and even scaffold a fully running project in seconds. Honestly, it feels like having a super engineer sitting right beside you, but what feels like a shortcut to productivity can just as easily become a shortcut to disaster. Because while AI-generated code often looks clean and convincing, it can still contain subtle bugs or performance issues that slip past you if you trust it blindly. And this brings us to the first hidden risk: accuracy. AI can generate functional code that looks perfect on the surface, but those hidden mistakes can easily escalate into production failures that damage not only your project, but also your credibility as a developer. AI doesn't always have the full context of your project, so it may generate code that technically runs but doesn't fit your requirements. On top of that, hallucination is an inherent limitation of large language models, which means they can sometimes produce incorrect or incomplete code. And while we're talking about production issues, we can't ignore security. The quality of code generated by AI models is only as good as the data they were trained on, which means they can expose sensitive information like connection strings or API keys if you're not careful. On top of that, I can suggest external libraries that aren't always safe, and hackers often exploit this by publishing malicious packages with names that closely resemble popular ones. If you're not vigilant, you could end up compromising not just your application, but your entire infrastructure and other sensitive company assets. This isn't just isolated to malicious libraries. Even with safe libraries, AI can sometimes use obsolete functions or outdated versions that were retired due to security flaws or other critical limitations. Now let's talk about licensing and legal risks, because this is something many developers overlook. AI models are trained on huge amounts of public code, and when they generate snippets for you, there's no guarantee those snippets are free to use. Some might come from code that requires attribution or even restricts commercial use. If you drop it straight into production, you're the one accountable, not the AI, and it doesn't stop there. Many companies also have proprietary algorithms and internal tools. If you copy and paste that code into an AI chat, it could end up being learned by the model and later appear somewhere else. That's not just a legal problem, it could mean exposing your company's secrets. Finally, let's talk about the long-term risk: loss of skill and messy, unmaintainable code. When you start relying too much on AI, it's easy to accept suggestions without fully understanding them. Over time, this chips away at your problem-solving skills and coding fundamentals. And because AI doesn't know the bigger picture of your project, it can generate code that works in the moment, but doesn't follow your team's style or architecture. The result is disorganized, hard to maintain code bases that slow everyone down. And that is where you may end up losing your career. In summary, AI coding assistants are powerful, but like any tool, they come with risks. The good news is you can manage those risks with the right habits. Always review AI-generated code before merging it. Make peer review sessions a regular part of your workflow. Go beyond happy path testing and run thorough functional tests as well as penetration tests to catch hidden security flaws. And most importantly, keep sharpening your own skills, because the more you grow as a developer, the better you'll be at guiding AI instead of being guided by it. Used wisely, AI can accelerate your career. Used blindly, it can derail it. The choice is yours.